overcoming racism.
Okay.
Now, educational empowerment was for this community more than just a moral cause. It was also quite instrumental. You see, growing up in the circumstances of the segregated South, where you couldn't go to a restaurant, where your parents had to find a way to tell you that the reason you couldn't go to that movie theater was that you were black, where your parents had to explain why it was, as a friend of mine, whose parents had to, that you couldn't go to Kittyland. You can imagine that that might have been an environment in which people felt oppressed and victimized, marginalized, and where horizons were limited. Well, education was, from their point of view, the answer to that. Because if you could speak English better than they did, meaning white men, if you could cite their literature better than they did, if you could play their music better than they did, then they might not like what they had to expect. And you could build a life that was fulfilling and productive, and a life of dignity. And therefore, for the families and the people of segregated Birmingham, education was a kind of armor against racism and prejudice that allowed them to build this productive and dignified life. They believed that you might not be able to control these circumstances, but you could control your response, and you were better able to control the response if you were educated. In these communities, the highest regard was held for teachers and for principals. If you were a teacher in the Birmingham public schools, oh my goodness, you had arrived. The day that a family learned that their son or daughter had received a teaching job was a happy one for them, and you should have seen the event that was the New Teachers Conference every year, held at the Civic Center in Birmingham, with every new teacher in suit and tie, the women in hats and gloves. It was quite a moment for the Birmingham community. And oh, by the way, as my uncle found out, it was also a great way to meet. That's how my uncle met his wife at the New Teachers Conference. The principals were even more gigantic figures. People like Mr. R.C. Johnson, the principal of Parker High School, the largest high school in Birmingham, and the father of Alma Johnson Powell, Holden Powell's wife, and Mr. George C. Bell, her uncle, by the way, who was the principal of Alma High School. And even the principals of elementary schools were considered towering figures, like Mr. W.W. Whetstone. When Mr. Whetstone unexpectedly died of a heart attack, the funeral that was held for him rivaled anything that was seen for a great political figure. My point in relaying this is that the profession of education was also valued above all else. You had a productive and you had a but not so many. But to be a teacher, this was the highest honor. In return, these teachers expected the best of their students. To be in a classroom where you were told you will have to be twice as good, not as a matter of debate, but as a matter of fact. Teachers expected the highest performance. They tried to help those who were not performing, but the high standards were held. You were held to account for high standards. You were told there are no victims and no excuses. Now, this narrative that I've related to you, I hope helps people to understand why in a place like Birmingham, with all of those circumstances of prejudice, all of those circumstances of limited horizon, so many very, very successful people emerged. And it says something about our challenge today in making certain that the talented 10 are not just the children of the educated and the children of the well-heeled, but in fact that education, as the great equalizer, is available so that the talented 10 represents a broad section of the United States and a broad section of our diversity and of within the race. It's essential for the United States that the I realize that without access to education, we are never going to know whether the potential of the person who might have found it educated is being sacrificed because they never had that chance. It is, for me, terrifying as an educator because I love to stand in front of a class at Stanford, and I'm sure you can do so at Harvard, and see that on the one hand, there is a fourth generation Stanford legacy, and sitting next to them is like another father. Now, without a K-12 education, and I public school education, the chance that that will continue to be the composition of a class for Stanford is very slim. That will mean that for the United States of America, and here I compare it just for being that of an educator to being that of a Secretary of State, it means that our competitiveness as a country is clearly at risk, and our ability and willingness to be open to the world is clearly at risk. You see, if we try to hold on to the days when the $18 an hour unskilled labor job was the way that you made a decent living in the United States, we're not going to be able to do it. The truth is that the United States occupies in the global economy that upper tier where knowledge and the ability to create and innovate is at the core of whether or not you're going to get a good job. Ask the people of the community, ask the people of Silicon Valley if they can find enough engineers in the world. And so somehow the creation of an education system in which people can get the skills that they need is very important. Otherwise, the United States will not. It will turn in. It will try to protect. And we will never be able to protect as effectively as others. And the economic time will get smaller, not larger. And so as former Secretary of State, I